Welcome back. This is definitely a little bit different than the usual environment that we find ourselves in. If you're from Colorado Springs and you're at least a little bit active in the community, you're probably familiar with the two individuals that I'm sitting with here. But can I have you guys introduce yourselves in either case?
My name is Charles Johnson, born and raised Colorado Springs.
The age.
Oh, my age? Oh, 22 years old. It's like we're doing a whole resume.
Chancey Johnson, 22 years old, Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Okay.
You just literally did the same thing I just did.
That's what I thought we were
So my
doing.
friends are twins, so they're going to have a lot of the same information, and that's okay.
Hopefully not.
But as a little bit of an icebreaker, break the tension a little bit, we're going to play Who's More Likely, okay? So I have a couple of questions, and then you guys are going to show me which one of you is more likely to, fill in the blank for the rest of the question. So first, who is more athletic?
Charles.
Me. Yeah, I think that's myself.
Oh, yeah, he's a
Yeah, I like being active and involved with just keeping my body in shape and just being around team-oriented bonding experiences. So athletic for me is definitely for sure.
Are you athletic or no?
Politically,
bullet. There we go. I like that. I like that one. No, a little bit. I mean, maybe when I'm competitive with him, so that's probably why. I maybe like sports, but not too much.
Yeah. Okay. Who is the funniest?
oh, that has to be me again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Just
Yeah,
because
Charles
I would
is
say
bad.
only because I'm not as a serious person as he is.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I like to joke around. I like to have fun. I don't like to. I mean, I like to be serious, but most of the time it's like I like to be relaxed and flexible, be able to enjoy what I have around me. I guess
As you should. Who is the laziest?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'll put that one on me. A little
Yeah, that's
bit.
him. I think he's more of the lazy
I'll
one.
put that
He's a
one on
politician, so
I don't
he has
think
his
that
lazy
has
side.
to do with it. I don't think that has to do anything with it. I procrastinate a lot,
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
which isn't helpful.
I'm a master procrastinator myself.
It's okay.
Who is more likely to be arrested?
Oh man, well,
That's a
just
good bro. That's a
I
good
will
one.
say,
I don't know. I might start the potential arrest, but you're probably gonna get
no,
arrested.
sadly it has to be me.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's all for good reasons, though.
Yeah,
but
it's
in my honest opinion, I think it should have been him. I think
Yeah.
he just got lucky
I start
Okay.
it most of the time.
because,
It's not
like,
bad.
just he starts everything, but supposedly they always find me at the end of everything. He's like, yeah, we'll take you instead. I was like, all right, that's fine.
No.
It's because I don't know how to fight. That's what it came down to.
No, it's
Okay.
because he's less resistant. That's why. I'll say that. Yeah. Definitely anti-authority.
Who's more likely to crash a car?
Him. Yeah, even though it took me longer to get
Yeah.
my license, he definitely is the one. So we had a time where we had a Mitsubishi at the time. I think it was like a 2019
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah,
2020.
yeah,
and we were driving in the
I love that
snow.
story.
And he literally, it's like right around the corner from the house. Like we take the little dip.
yeah, that
He doesn't even, he only goes like 20 miles. Like literally the hubcap flies
That
off.
was
hits
so
the
bad.
corner of a light pole. So
That
I was
was
like, how do you do that? Drive
Not the hubcap.
It was
Yeah.
real bad.
bad. So he can't drive for nothing.
Okay.
I'm more the safe driver anyway.
Well, I was just a hubcap, but not the car. So that's all that
That's true.
matters.
Yeah, just the hubcap is
Got
replaceable.
home safe, so
Yeah.
Your lives are not, so we're good. We're happy with that.
exactly.
Who is the better dancer?
That's a. I don't know. I say that's even. That's a tie.
Yeah, it's a tie. Yeah, it's
Because
a tie.
when we go out and dance, I feel like we both attract like a lot of people around us to be able to like just enjoy the music and not be so, I guess, tense and so
I have to go out with y'all
closed
then.
off. So.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
just
always
not
fun
the
going
best
out.
dance moves, and they have to play the right songs.
Yeah, we don't have the best dancers. I'm not the best dancer here, but I got some rhythm, so
That's all you
can't
need.
count it out.
That is all you
Very
need.
fair, very fair.
Who's the better singer?
You, I'm gonna say you.
Back
I don't
then,
be singing.
back in the day,
I
yeah,
don't be
not no
singing
more.
like that.
Not
I'd
no
be
more.
like maybe
Nope.
I maybe
Those
think I
days are
can
over.
sing it. Maybe like,
Those days are
Need some
over.
words.
It used to be bad. I used to sing in the bathroom a lot too with the little music playing.
Still do.
Sometimes, not as much though. But
A mark of a happy person.
yeah,
That's
I mean, we grew up in a musical family, so I wouldn't be
kind of
surprised.
hard not to.
I didn't know that about y'all.
Besides singing, we did like a lot of instruments. So like me personally like band, so like saxophone, trumpet.
Okay.
I learned how to play the piano, the drums. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, we did a lot. But then of course athletics came around and we stopped. But I think music somewhat could be figured out again and relearned. So I
Okay.
wouldn't have to try.
Yeah. Who is more likely to fall while walking?
I'll say I'm the clumsier one.
Yeah, I was
Out
gonna
of
be
both
like,
of
I don't
us.
think I'd fall. I think I'd
Just
catch
because I think I'm
myself.
so carefree, I get clumsy a lot.
Yeah, I was like,
I just
think I'd
forget
catch myself.
sometimes. So
I'd be like, hold on.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then our final question for this, or for who's more likely, is who is more likely to take control in a serious situation?
Ooh, nah, hold on.
Depending on the
it depends on the situation.
Yeah,
But
that's
if it's
fair,
like,
that's fair. That's fair.
I'll say if it's like, I don't even know.
Can you give us a situation?
Yeah, go situation so we can figure out.
Ah, I wasn't prepared for a bonus round. Hold on, let me think.
Bonus question for ourselves.
Sorry, we're not supposed to
serious
be the ones
situation.
asking the questions either.
What is a serious situation in which we would find ourselves?
To make it more fair, I would say if it's anything like political or anything like that, I'd probably be me. If anything else, probably mostly
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
And that's like 99% of everything.
Yeah, so I think
We
I
play to our
think more.
strengths. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Alrighty. That's great, guys. So you both mentioned that you're from here. What part of the city are you from?
Southeast Colorado
We have to
Springs.
say it at the same time.
Where specifically?
So in K-Land, right by John Adams, near Memorial Park, the south end of Memorial.
Amy's Donuts.
Amy's Donuts right there on the corner. Some historical little places around there that people enjoy.
Like what?
Well, it's
For
called
us,
K-Land because the old Kmart.
because the old Kmart. For us, we call it the Ocean. So it's the ditch in John Adams that's underneath by the backside apartments near Amy's Donuts. And so down there, it's just like a open ditch
Oh, yeah.
water drain area, like usually where you can just drain out water if there's like a storm or something going on.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we would go back there and just wander around as kids. Of course, there's tagging in the back and stuff, but we would go around just to explore because we had nothing else to do
Right.
in the neighborhood.
Yeah, bored.
And so it was interesting. So surprisingly, we saw like different types of like animals. We were like frogs, like dogs, cats.
Yeah.
And one time we tried to build like a homeless tent shelter camp there,
Yeah.
and ended up getting taken over by somebody
Dude,
the next
that
day. We
was
went
so-
back, so we couldn't.
Yeah.
Couldn't
I
do
will
that.
say, like, the walk down there, though, is, like, pretty atrocious.
It's pretty steep, you know. It's all
I wouldn't-
concrete,
yeah,
so
I
it's like you
wouldn't-
gotta
yeah,
watch
we
your
were-
step, don't twist the ankle.
Yeah.
We were also kids, so
We were kids, so we
yeah,
were just
we were like, this
rambunctious.
doesn't matter. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're walking through this.
Literally.
Just go through it.
No
Flash flood warning, though. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Memorial
Exactly.
was that was a platform for everything, especially middle school for football games, just events like the Balloon Glow that just happened not too long ago. There's just multiple things I've gone on there for fireworks, 4th of July. Like it's just, we've lived there our whole lives, so our whole 22 years. So
Yeah.
It's like we've been to pretty much everything that's been there and that was once
Almost.
turned around and changed. So
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Agreed.
I know you mentioned your middle schools a little bit. Which schools did you go to out here?
So in the beginning, in 6th grade, we went to Gallo just for our 6th grade year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was it. And after that, we transferred to North just because our grandparents felt like we weren't getting the best education there, that we felt that we need to be somewhere where we would actually be able to keep our heads straight and learn. So I guess the next closest school was North, which was down in the central downtown area, right across the street from the District 11 Education Board office where they hold their meetings. So that was a fun experience. I think we met a lot of more diverse group of people there when we went to North compared to at Galileo, and
Yeah.
even with teaching as well. So I thought it was a great opportunity that we had there.
What was your experience like in Colorado Springs schools?
It was
It was
interesting.
rocky.
It was rock. I mean, being the only black kid in the
Yeah.
classroom, that was one.
Yeah.
That was one issue that always kind of stereotyped a lot of things. You know,
I wanted
just-
to drop out at 16 so I was pretty.
Yeah, he was. He
I
was
wanted
very,
to drop out when I was like 6.
He was very not
Yeah.
motivated for it. But
Yeah.
for me, I would say the thing that kept me in school in Colorado, especially, was just the sports and being around other like-minded people that just cared about being around friends socially, actively being physical and all things like that. So
I will
think
say I did not like school though because I already knew what I wanted to fucking do. So I was like,
Yeah.
screw this.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah, he was a wannabe dropout, if you want to say. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, there was a lot of great teaching. I would say the best time for me in school was elementary school, personally, at John Adams before it closed down, because I felt like that was more like community-based oriented. We grew up with everyone that was in the neighborhood. You know, everyone knew each other, wasn't so distant. And things like that. Like there was a lot of great opportunities like beyond the school bell, things like that, to help kids like be able to get clothes and be able to have opportunities to give back to stuff that we normally couldn't get on a daily basis or economic or social.
Yeah.
So that for me, I thought was pretty cool.
I liked my experience.
The sports were fun too.
Yeah. I liked my experience. I mean, I was also like really caught up in my social life and the social aspect of things of school. I wasn't like, my grades weren't really my...
I was more of the reserve type in school. Like, really didn't talk to anyone, more about the grades and sports. Women gotta go to the side.
Yeah.
Couldn't even do it. They would get upset about it, but it's all right. And things change, so it's all right.
I find both of those takes to be very interesting, especially knowing the kind of activities that you're currently participating in. To hear that you wanted to drop out of high school, and to hear that you were reserved, especially knowing the things that I know about you. So if you guys want to share with the audience so that they can be equally as perplexed as I, a little bit about what you guys have been known for around the city.
A lot of things. I mean, a lot of community building and just being active as actives in the community. And I'll say for us, it really started with our grandma, honestly, growing up. So she helped with the community PTA in our neighborhood for John Adams, creating a local neighborhood community council. She was the president of that council for a while. So like growing up, we had to not be forced, but just willingly, she took us in with her all the time. Our grandpa was at work to go be at her meetings. We'll hang out with the other little kids there, but like we'll be there watching her like help decide like what community implements are needed for that time of year and month, like helping out with the elementary school, what the kids need, like what after school programs can we help implement for kids to be involved in, things like that. So I think that kind of rubbed off on us at a young age. And then most recently, that really got us involved with a lot of the protest stuff was the incident with our friend Devon Bailey that got killed by Carl Springs Police Department. It's a very hard story to talk about, you know, because the situation is just, it's all twisted backwards, you know, because of the media and just the way people's perceptions are with the situation, things like that. But it definitely opened my eyes to like knowing that it can happen here, because it was interesting. We were talking with our friends before that happened about certain situations that were going on in other states with black men and women being killed by the hands of police. And we're like, oh, well, it can never happen here in Colorado. It's a predominantly white state. Like, they're not going to want to do stuff like that. And knowing that we live in a more predominantly minority community, and to see that happen, like, it definitely, like, made us think, like, oh, okay, well, maybe it can happen here. Like, and that we definitely need to be more aware of it. And so with that, we did a lot of protesting downtown. And first it started off in Denver, actually, when the George Floyd incident happened. We went to Denver on the second day and kind of watched what they were doing up there, and their demonstration went from the middle of the day into the night, and it definitely, the element definitely went up for sure. And so it was like, well, if they're doing all this stuff up here, why can't we do it down there in Colorado Springs, in a smaller city? And so we're like, you know what, we might as well go out there. You know, it wasn't even us at first that were out there. We seen a lot of allies out there holding up signs for, you know, protesting for accountability of the police. We're like, okay, that's good that at least some people are aware of it. But it'd be great if the whole community was here to know about it. And especially know about the situation that happened here in Colorado Springs with minorities that have gotten killed. Besides just Devon Bailey, there's a couple other people. I don't know, who did you talk to?
Like the Lemuel family, Joshua the Vigil family.
They're in Page.
Doremus Lemuel?
Yeah. And there's just countless other people here in Colorado Springs, especially in the Southeast community, that have been killed at the hands of police that never got talked about, because we see such a wide variety of other situations, other states with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, things like that. We forget about our own city here that gets looked over, and we wanted to make sure that we remind people that it happens here in our own backyard and around in our own community, and that we need to hold our own police accountable and not just listen to what's going across in other states, because I think there's a lot of powerful change that we can bring here as a city, especially being very tightly conservative, but bringing in more progressive young minds around in our colleges and things like that, in our high schools, wanting to grow our city and our future. And I think that's the best opportunity where it can start, is with our youth and things like that. That's a big thing that we implemented, and being involved in our community, not just like with protests, but being involved like with advocacy groups, and just being able to go to the board meetings, stating your opinion, because all those things matter. People might not think at that time that it does, but it plays a long role in the long run with your future and what you want it to look like for your family and ones around you. So.
And they all intersect as well too. So.
Yeah. I know, because that's where we met, was at the protests. You, Chauncey, I know you take more of an interest in the policy side of that.
Yeah.
As a young black man who works up at the state capitol, where there's not many people that look like you, how do you find yourself navigating that space while still, you know?
I always gotta thank Pete Lee for allowing me for 2 years to like get the opportunity to like spend 2 years up there and do that, and that was really nice. But definitely, so like the first year when I did it with him and when I worked for him in the 2021 session, it was during COVID, so I like really didn't get to like go up there and like see anything. But like this year, I really got to go up there. Like went there like twice a week and got to see things. It was actually really interesting. The first time I went up there, I was like, wow, there's no one that looks like me here at all. Like if they do, like they're the janitorial staff, or like any staff like there that's like keeping up with the building rather than helping out with like policy work and stuff like that. I did, and also there's not too many legislators that look like us either, so that makes it very hard. And even for me, like there weren't too many men like legislators. I think there's only 2, so I mean it wasn't really much to look up to. It was really hard. It's definitely different topics that you hear that are being like debated, policies that are being debated. You definitely have a different way of looking at it. For example, the fentanyl bill that was like passed this year, it was like a lot more different for me because I mean I know people still, and I've seen people that have gone through addictions. Like I've personally gone through one myself, so it's like there's like certain things that like hit me really hard and you have to really think about. And I don't think like sometimes also when I was up there they didn't think about unintended consequences, like what would happen. Like I mean even though it's a good thing and you want to do it, like they didn't, I don't think they thought about the repercussions that could possibly happen with making a good bill that like would affect people. And I also don't think like people should be jailed for an addiction. Like that's, I've seen personally how that like affects people. It makes it even worse. It makes their addiction even worse, or makes their situation even worse. And so that was something that was like really different for me. Just looking at the policy perspective from a different area. Also living on most of the capitals in Metro Denver, and most of all the representatives and senators there are from either Metro Denver or most of northern Colorado. So it's like the southern part and rural areas of Colorado don't get spoken a lot about. So that was like also really interesting to see how much those aren't incorporated, because if you look at it like those, the south regions and like the rural regions are like either the ones with like the most class poverty or the most like minority poverty. And so it's like I don't think like sometimes that isn't like took into consideration either. So that was like really interesting. I did get to have like 2 great people that were my friends that were there that were people of color, and they were amazing. It was Senator Coleman's chief of staff, Carla, and it was really nice talking to her because as a woman coming from, I believe she's from New York, and just like talking to her about her experience, just living in Denver and how she sees everything, and also being a black chief of staff for a legislator, and like how that works with you when you're working with all these other legislators that see your bill. I remember I actually had a conversation when we were talking about a bill, and I was in the office with Pete, and we were talking with another colleague about a bill, and or I think it was a policy analyst, someone, and we were talking about how like it was around policing, and I just have a lot of experience, unfortunately, with that. And so we were talking, and we sort of just like hinted at that person, like, hey, like look at me as a, like I live in Pete Lee's district, I'm a constituent, I also work for him, but I'm also a human at the end of the day, and I'm also a part of like Colorado Springs and the greater Colorado. So it's like, if we implement this policy, how would someone like me be affected? Like, so it was really nice to bring that perspective as well. But it's also like, sometimes also you know that like that perspective is like known, but it's not looked out for. So like, it's it has its fun times and it has its moments. And sometimes like people think you're not the intern, or you're not the aide, or you're just like the staff person. Like I had one time someone asked me, like, do you know where the restrooms are? And I was like, they're like, do you even work here? And I was like, yeah. So it's like, there's sometimes it's like bad, but for the most part it was good. I enjoyed it, and it was nice to like get get a different perspective and allowed them to get a different perspective
Yeah.
as well. So that was really
Yeah, I'm
nice.
sure. Hopefully, at least.
Yeah.
So how did we go from wanting to drop out of high school to aspiring to work in the state capitol?
So I mean, gosh, it's a lot. So when I was like 15, I had a really great teacher at Palmer named Mr. Nelson, and he taught a world geography class. It was also like pretty crazy because he was like really hard on us, but then he was also like really calm too.
Yeah.
He had this thing that he would do when he was like, when we would get too rowdy, he would like freak out on us and then just like go calm. So it's pretty weird. But he actually had us in a really geography class, and it was really like unlike a normal like freshman world geography class. He actually gave us points, and we would literally be in a room like this, and we would split the class and debate our arguments between each other as a class. And he, as a teacher, would even take a side, whether he personally believed it or not, and argued that side, and we had to make an effort to argue back. And that just really got me into debate and everything like that. And then afterwards, he wanted to put me in his AP class, as a sophomore. It's cool, just because you're a cool teacher. And then I figured out how much book work is not for me.
Yeah.
And so, which I'm surprised I'm doing it now. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna drop your class. And so I dropped it, and I took a U.S. American History class, which was what we would have to take our sophomore year, since I dropped the AP class. And I fell in love with that. And that teacher, just learning a lot about American history, that incited my interest in politics, I guess, because I learned that a lot of history was made because of not so great policies,
right,
or not so thought about policies. And I was
right,
okay, well, how do you change that? It's oh, you need to become a lawmaker to do that. So that's really honestly what spiked my interest. And also Obama becoming the first ever black president, that also did a lot. I'm also having Tony Exum as a representative for a long time, and representing me in my own district. That was really helpful, because it's actually someone I get to look up to in my district that I could contact anytime. So that was really nice and really helpful, and that just kind of sparked my interest. And then also, unfortunately, with the thing that happened with Devon Bailey, that sparked my interest even more, especially around just gun violence in general, and just also around policing in America, in Colorado, and Colorado Springs. And then working with Pete Lee, that kind of affirmed it. And then working for him for another year, for 2 years, that kind of affirmed this is what I want to do. And I'm a poli-sci major right now with the history minor, so it's kind of already set in stone, I guess. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it's fun, and it's learning a lot. So glad I didn't drop out. I'm glad for the teachers that stuck with me. Appreciate you guys, because that was a rocky road, dude. I was a little bad child.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Okay. Well, what would each of you call this chapter in your lives right now?
Learning phase.
Yeah.
Learning things. Yeah.
I would say more patience again, because I remember a few years ago, I would talk about not just trying to rush everything, trying to be involved in so much, and try to make sure I'm doing what I need to do, but also knowing that there will be mistakes, and just trusting myself more, just being patient with just going through the process of everything. So being able to go to my second year of college, I think that's very interesting, because I didn't think I was gonna make it that far, especially with the situations that were going on outside of school and stuff.
Yeah.
So now that I am where I'm at now, I was I'm definitely glad I took the patience and time to think everything through and keep going to wherever life is going to take me, honestly, right now, because it can go anywhere else if it wanted to, but for right now I think it's in the right place. Just being patient, just going through it where I need to, and I think everything else will go where it needs to go.
And also just learning that everything's not learning to not take things too serious as well. Sometimes I'm still working on that, but also just learning about other things as well, just learning how to control yourself, and just seeing the progress as well, learning about your progress and how you progress as a person. That's been one thing that I guess I could call this chapter, just, I don't know, learning about new things about myself that I should probably dive into a little bit more. That's probably helping myself out.
And more responsibility too.
Yeah, and that also comes with patience and responsibility as well. So that's
and try not to grow up too fast too, because I guess 22 is good being young, but then also I guess there's a lot of responsibility. But I think that's also a stereotype to that, because I think everybody else at 22 was struggling too at one point. They didn't have everything put together. So I wouldn't say. Yeah, it's like don't have everything put together. So.
Yeah.
But do the best you can. I will say that. Just give the best effort you can, because not everything's gonna go the way you want it to. So.
And even if it seems like your life is like affirmed to go this way, it could always like not go that way. So also like be prepared for that as well. Like I mean, as much as I would love to like make policy and do stuff for other people, I also know that at some point like that also might not be something I want to do anymore, or something that might not like be able to happen. So it's like also just learning to like there's new things out there for you to like grab onto and learn to like help yourself out as well. So.
Well, the nice thing about that is, you know, it's your path.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah,
no matter where you go,
exactly.
no matter what steps you take, every step you take is a part of your path.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. That's most definitely true. It's most definitely true.
So where are you guys at 5 years from now?
Shit.
Man. Well, if I can, my goal now is to create a social documentary film, but I still haven't got there yet. But I have
5 years
one.
is plenty.
I already have one document research up and ready to go. I just gotta figure out the cameras part and stuff and find the time to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Just find the time to do it. I feel that.
Yeah. No, because like I have it there sitting, like all the research, everything. I just gotta figure out how to.
No, I feel
put
you.
the whole
I've seen
thing
you do it.
together.
You have the research there. It's just about time to have it to do it.
The patience that goes
I
with that too.
totally
I don't want to rush myself doing
I understand.
And what about you, Chauncey? Where are you in 5 years?
politics, policy,
Yeah.
somewhere in one of these legislative areas. Of
I
power.
mean, I mean, I would be, I'd be very honest, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know, hopefully maybe city council in the,
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today, actually, about who's gonna, well, not who, but you know what it's gonna look like in the next few years, especially after this upcoming election coming up.
Should be very interesting.
Yeah, knowing things are gonna change.
Yeah,
a
just,
lot, a lot.
Yeah, either city council
gonna be fun.
working for someone, or just continuing to learn. I'm 22. I have until I'm 25 to run for something. I mean, I'm getting the most experience I can possible, and even then when I turn 25, I still think there's a lot more that I need to learn as well. So, and especially as the more that you go up, I've learned that the situations get more complex and there's no exact right answer.
Yeah.
There's a multitude of answers, and they're also as well complex. So, still probably a learning process 5 years from now as well. But just probably be nice to be in a position like that because have some great ideas, and great people to have to help me think those ideas out. So
In 5 years, I'm sure it's plenty of time. But just the impact that you've already been able to make. I'm sure you'll definitely be able to get that.
We're also really hard on ourselves, so it's like that's also probably a thing we need to work on too. It's like, don't be so hard on
You'll always
yourself.
be your toughest critic.
That's fair. That's true.
What have been some of your greatest barriers to success?
I don't know. That's a hard one because, like I said, like I'm very free going. I'm not gonna I don't know. I guess just being serious when I need to. I guess just being able to adjust in different environments. Knowing where I'm at. So just being around important people, knowing that can help change things. Just knowing when it's the right time to take the stuff that that's needed seriously and be able to get it done, and then have time for whatever it is that you like to do. So I think it's just making sacrifices. I think that's the biggest thing for me was a barrier because I never liked sacrificing things. I just liked it how the way I did. So I think putting myself in different positions would definitely help me get to where I am now and learning more about myself. So putting myself out there I think is a barrier because like I said, I used to be very reserved, so I did not like talking to people, being engaged, but now it's pretty interesting. I like it. Some people say I need to stop talking, but it's all right. I
doubt
enjoy
that.
it. I enjoy it. Yeah. That's at least for me. What about for you?
I'd say a barrier to success for sure would be me actually not being, how you always you open your mouth too much. I would say that was a good successful barrier. That actually helped me succeed a little bit more. Opening up my mouth. I would also say. I'd say where being honest or having the opportunity to work at the Capitol for 2 years in a row and for the same person, and that also be in my district as well. That was very helpful to know more about not just only how I'm feeling, but also people around me and my neighbors are feeling. I think that was a really good help to success. I would also say everyone probably that I've met since 2019, like throughout like everyone that I talk to still today, like you, Jules, like you guys have all like helped through it, like in little ways, like, you know what I mean, like in every like little way, you know what I mean. So I think that's like the success too as well, like watching other people do great things, like this podcast, you know what I mean, has helped me and Charles. Like, we need to do more like in our podcast, like we need to like step it up a little bit more.
a lot.
But
We just stay too busy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think that's one thing is just our timeliness.
And I just don't like. I don't think like I don't see it as a competition. It's more. It's like I'm seeing people that I like are doing great things that I love, or doing like really great things. So it's like I need to do great things and step it up a little bit more. So it's just pushing each other. So like, I think that also is like a really huge one. And then also this dude too. He doesn't like me being emotional, but he's been a really good help too. Because I wouldn't make half the decisions like that I would. I probably would have interned with Pete if he probably would have told me to do it. So I would have made some. I would have taken off on some good opportunities if this dude wasn't here too. So that was a good building block to success.
Good. You know, iron sharpens iron.
It's fun sometimes.
You know,
sometimes.
occasionally.
It can be rough.
But it can't be fun all the time.
Rough road sometimes. Yesterday's rugby practice.
Oh man, the rugby stuff too. That man kill it. Messing me up. Can't do it no more. I think 15th season is it. After this, I think I'm gonna retire. Oh yeah. I think I'm just gonna focus on what I want to actually go do. I think the sports is a one-time thing. I think I just tried it out, did it for fun.
Yeah.
That too. I'm done. I was like, I need to go focus on career. I was like,
good experience.
Yeah, it was. It was a fun experience. You get to meet new people, and just find different settings and social groups and stuff.
But then you also know, like, okay, this is not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me. It's done.
Well, you have to go out and do that to know that too.
Yeah, exactly. That's most definitely true.
I only have a couple more questions for you guys.
Sweet.
What is something that most people don't know about y'all?
Dang, doggy. I don't know. I guess. I wouldn't say I'm a know-it-all, but I'm like really big into like astrology and like zodiac signs and stuff. Like just reading into all like the tarot reading and card stuff. So I mean, a lot of people wouldn't looking at me. A lot of people wouldn't think that I'm into stuff like that. But I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
I think it's interesting. I do a lot of research every day and just different topics and varieties about zodiac signs and stuff, like how that kind of like implements people's like social lifestyle, like careers, things like that. Just fun stuff to do.
That is true.
Yeah, so I think that's
cool.
one.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What about you, Chauncey? What's something we don't know about you?
I know.
You can't tell that one. He said no.
No, definitely can't do that.
It's
It's a private life, dude.
You said you're open to anything.
Yeah, but also there's also a private life as well.
Man, it's all right.
Let's see. I don't know.
Come on, something.
I don't know. I like rugby. I mean, people don't know that we play rugby like that, so I'll use that
That's
one.
something a lot of people
That's
don't
always
know.
a good one to use that one, so I don't get in my personal life.
Man, he didn't want to tell y'all the truth. That's why. It's all right.
That's fine, you
We'll
know.
let him pass with that one.
We're not here to make anybody uncomfortable.
That's what do they call it? Off the record? You guys can get that off.
Oh, absolutely. I'm here for all the tea. And what can we expect to see from y'all in the future?
Oh man, I'm pretty sure a lot. I mean, would definitely still be involved in the community, wherever that is.
Have degrees.
Oh, degrees, but
Yeah,
definitely.
Degreed up, for sure.
Degreed up
For
will
sure.
be-
And then hopefully,
Sure.
like I said, the documentary, hopefully that will start up soon and have a couple of those things going out. And then eventually a chauffeur. I know it sounds bad, but growing up I've always wanted one. So if that is out there in the future,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna keep me one.
gosh, Charles, I never thought you would bring that up in a podcast. Let me tell you, Charles has told me ever
always
since
wanted to.
he was like, if this happens, he's like, if you become governor.
No, okay, not him, but if
he's
I ever
give
make
me
it in life with
give me a chauffeur. That would be nice. And
He's
I'm
trying to
like,
hype his political career.
I would
It's not
understand.
working, but like I said, for myself, one day I want a chauffeur to want to drive around because I've always never liked
He doesn't like
driving.
driving.
I like walking, like biking and stuff. Just driving is just not it.
Yeah,
Because
I don't like
people act a lot different in driving. For me, a big thing is like when like it's raining out or like very snowy, people driving very extreme caution of speed. And when it's sunny out, they just don't know what they're doing. They're just like, oh, okay, it's whatever. Yeah. Just like, can't do it. Can't do it. And we got these big trucks from Texas.
Yeah.
Can't stand that stuff either. Take up too much space.
Semi-trucks scare me.
It's always the Texas and the Cali plates, if you notice. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty, y'all. So what does community mean to both of you?
Ooh.
This is the final question.
You go first.
Community to me, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's just, you know,
It's
shut up. I mean,
I'm just trying
he
to
says
get
stuff. No, I think it's more of just acceptance and like being able to help one another and build, I guess, a culture of diversity and wealth within a community, and be able to share that with others around the city and with people that kind of don't know like about what's going on. I think like with the stuff that we have now, like starting up with the Chinook Center and like of course Daily Dose 719, all these podcast things that are going on, I think it's really helping build the brand of community, show like what it truly looks like instead of just going off of the stereotypical things of what media feeds it to be. I think a lot of great things are to come for community here in Colorado Springs and in the Southeast. So I think just the more we're involved with each other and just getting to know each other's background, where we come from, because everyone's different, no one's the same. You know, I think just being able to accept that and be able to live with it, I think would be a start to building a greater community and just having what's needed.
Yeah, community for me, I mean, it's just, I mean, what we're doing, I mean, connecting with people that, I mean, we're also like-minded as well as like people that just genuinely care about other people's well-being. I think we all do a really good job at like making sure if someone needs something, if we can at least provide it, at least knowing someone that can, or at least pointing someone in the right direction. I think we do a really good job with that, as well as sharing like people's outlets, like allowing us to be here like on Daily Dose, like shouting out, like allowing us to like share out a lot about ourselves. Like, you know, I mean that might be able to inspire like someone out there that's like younger than us to be able to do what we're all doing right now. So it's like that's really nice to see, and I think that's like just making sure that we're doing the right thing as well as like while also ensuring that we're growing as a community. I think that's like more of what like community is for me. There's a lot, so I can like rap all day. But,
I think you guys hit like so you break down the word, right? Community. Unity. So it's like you need your people, and you also have to come together for like a common purpose or a common goal, and if that's the betterment of all, then that is, you know, community.
Exactly.
So
because communion's all about coming together.
Right.
So you got that unity, it's all together. So
it has been more than a pleasure.
Yeah, of course.
And an honor to sit with you both. I really enjoyed this time. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
We'll have to do it soon.
Yeah.
We really have to do it soon. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh yeah, y'all too.
Yeah, we got another another podcast. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Slacking. Happy Halloween and have fun.
Stay fun. Stay fun this Halloween. Check your candy. I'll let us know.
Yep, and stay safe too, because the candy is different out here nowadays.
That's what they say, but it's kind of expensive. We'll see. Depends on what kind of candy we're talking about.
Yeah,
But that's neither here nor there.